Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. So, 2 days ago, the British GT Pack DLC came out for Sette Corsa Competizione, and of course I made a video showing all the cars and the tracks, but the review was missing, so of course I had to actually test it and come up with a conclusion, because I had just literally downloaded the DLC when I made that video, before even hopping into the tracks and trying a race. So now, after 2 days of extensive testing and driving, I can finally tell you guys whether it's worth it or not. And I should start by saying it's a ripoff, but not the kind of ripoff that you're thinking about. No, you are not the one getting ripped off. It's the company, because it's very cheap. So for the price you're paying, you get 3 laser scan tracks, 70 drivers, 40 liveries, and that's just for 12 euros. That's insane. Like, actually insane. It's extremely cheap. I mean, if you look at a competition like iRacing, for instance, you would be looking at a lot more money for that. You cannot even get anywhere near the amount of content. I mean, as far as GT4 is concerned and everything, it's a very fair price, if I gotta say so myself. And not only is it fairly priced, it also brings multi-class racing, which is something people were looking for a long time. But they could not implement on single player, because in real life they don't actually do multi-class, the SRO GT Championship. But British GT does, which also belongs to SRO, so they actually have multi-class in real life. They could not implement what was not present in real life, but as British GT offers GT3 and GT4 together, that's something that they could finally manage, and it's very, very fun to play multi-class with the AI. They made sure everything goes well enough, you don't get rammed from behind in faster cars once they are like a couple laps in front of you. But yeah, it's very, very, very solid, a very nice experience, something really, really different from what we were used to. And also the tracks are very different, as you must know, they're kind of old, so they have a lot of bumps, way different from modern very flat tracks. So you gotta really, really, really know your car. You gotta be careful with the curves, because they could be dangerous. Mostly on GT3, of course. GT4 can kind of handle them to an extent, but some curbs, like the Luton Park ones, they can actually bite you and destroy your race. Just one touch and settles the car, and there goes your entire race. I've had quite a bit of that while learning the tracks. It was quite a ride, a bumpy one, I gotta say. But so the whole point is, yes, the British pack is worth it. The tracks are amazing, they're very well done. I dare to say they're the best available, the best rendition as far as laser scanning goes. Like, it's very accurate, as you would expect from Clunos. The textures are very decent, lighting is spot on, and it's by far the best experience you can get at the moment. Whether it's Luton Park, it's Snetterton, or Donington Park, they are the best version available out there. So if you're a fan of GT racing, multi-class, you're a fan of bumps and dangerous curbs, that's definitely the DLC for you. I've had a lot of fun, an actual lot of fun, and as expected, it doesn't disappoint at all. Performance is also great, basically the same figures. I would say some even run better than default stuff like Snetterton, because it's a very blunt track. In real life, there's not a lot going on. It's plain, but that's just how it is in real life. And they've actually nailed the details so much. Like, Donington Park actually got the airport near it mottoed, and you can see airplanes flying over. Airport being the Leeds Bradford EGNM. So you can actually see the airplanes approaching and landing, and the airport's there. If you move the free camera around, you can see the plane approaching and landing, and the runway's there, which is amazing. Something you don't see quite often. I didn't even know there was an airport near Donington Park, because every other rendition of Donington, I didn't really notice any airplane or airplane sounds. So perhaps the first time they actually put airplanes in there. I didn't know. So like when I was recording the first video showing the tracks around, I saw the airplane and followed it and it was landing. I didn't even know which airport it was. Turns out it's Leeds, which turns out to be one of my favorite airports in flight simulation. I love British airports in general. Leeds, Liverpool, Birmingham. But yeah, it's not the point. So yeah, I mean, this DLC was probably a godsend, one could say, because I assume after like a couple years, people got bored of the content that we got track-wise. So we have 3 new tracks which are exciting, fresh, extremely fresh. It's not something you see very often in racing sims. I mean, Automobilista got them, P-Cars got them, but it's not like very mainstream per se. So they're extremely fresh, extremely new, and I assume most people don't know them too well. So it's quite a challenge to learn them, be fast, and you know, match alien pace. So it's really a breath of fresh new air into this sim racing environment, into ACC mostly, because I would say that makes it clear how advanced ACC is compared to the rest of the simulators. Because I've been driving around Luton Park for so long in R-Factor and AC and Automobilista and P-Cars, and it never felt challenging in a sense. Like, of course, it's a tricky track. It's very narrow and it's very very tight during corners. You cannot really overtake that much. There's not a lot of room for stuff, but the curbs were very forgiving, generally very forgiving. So you could actually touch them a lot, abuse them, which you cannot do in ACC. And it's just amazing how the car interacts with the track, with the bumpy surface, which is something I don't see very often. You know, playing your average sim, and it doesn't seem like it's that poggers. You see, it seems as if the car doesn't really interact that much with the surface. And in ACC, it's there. It can actually feel like you're driving in the track. There's a lot of contact. The car is bumping around all the time, and you always got to be on top of the car, because you know, any little mistake, any little distraction could mean the end of the race for you. So yeah, that definitely proves it once and for all that ACC is indeed the best GT3 and GT4 sim to date, as far as physics go, as far as realism goes, like both visually and, you know, physically as well. And laser scanningly, if that's even a word. Of course it's not, but you can really feel the track, and the force feedback's just great. So yeah, whether you want a new challenge or whether you want, you know, some British fun, just go for it, because it's fantastic. It's beyond great. Don't let dreams be dreams. Get the British back, you won't regret it, because I sure had a lot of fun. Thank you for watching, have a great time. Don't forget to leave a comment if you wish. You know, feedback's always appreciated. And yeah, bye-bye.